Traditional quilt blocks finish at 12 inches, but there's no rule that says that's what they have to be. You can make your quilt blocks any size you want. And today I'm going to show you how to make a Shoofly block that finishes at 5 inches. Welcome to Ebita Studio. My name is Elizabeth and I help you make beautiful things with quilting, podragi, and embroidery. So a Shoofly quilt block is a traditional quilt block and it's commonly done in a 12-inch finished block. And that makes it easy to do because it's made with 3 pieces across and 3 pieces down. So if it's a 12-inch square, then you can easily do the math to know that each of these pieces is going to be 4 inches square. And if you want to adjust to a different size, it's easy to make a 9-inch block or a 6-inch block or a 15-inch block because those numbers are all divisible by 3. But you can also make this in other sizes with numbers that aren't divisible by 3. So today I'm going to show you how to make this 5-inch Shoofly quilt block. So you can see what I did in this block because 5 is not divisible by 3. You'll get an odd fraction that is not easy to cut and sew. So what I did, instead of trying to divide 5 by 3 and ending up with odd fractions, I actually changed the shape of the block. So we can see that this one has 3 equal parts across and down. This one does not have 3 equal parts. So to make the math easier, I actually changed the question. Don't you wish you could have done that in elementary school? So instead of having 5 divided by 3, I just knew I needed 3 pieces that totaled 5. So these side pieces are 2 inches and the middle piece is 1. So 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 5. So that's how I made a Shoofly block, 5 inches square. So let's get started making this block. So to make this block, you're going to need 2 3-inch squares of both the feature fabric and the background color fabric. Then with the feature fabric, you're going to need a 1.5-inch square. And with the background fabric, you're going to need 4 pieces that are 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches. Now using the 3-inch squares, we're going to make half square triangles. So the way that we'll do this is draw a diagonal line on the back of the lighter color one, then put them right sides together, stitch a 1/4 inch away from the line, cut in half, press open, and then trim those to 2.5 inches square. So this is the most popular method for making half square triangles. If you want to see a full detailed tutorial for how to do that, you can check on the link or look below for the link for a full detailed tutorial. But what we're going to do is use these squares to make half square triangles and then trim them down to 2.5 inches square. So when the half square triangles are done, these are going to be 2.5 inches square at this size. And now we're ready to lay out the block. So we're going to start with our feature fabric in the center, and then these half square triangles will go in the corners, pointing in towards the centerpiece. And then these rectangles are going to go at north, south, east, and west. And then to stitch these together, we're going to stitch these pieces into 3 rows. So we'll stitch these 3 together, these 3, and then these 3. So now these have been stitched together into rows. One thing we're going to do that's a little bit counterintuitive is we're going to press the seams underneath this fabric. So even though this is the lighter fabric and not the darker fabric, we're pressing the seams under there because then that presses it away from the half square triangle. If this was pressed back onto the half square triangle, that would leave a lot of bulk right here in that seam where the triangle seam is pressed back onto itself. So we're pressing it away to keep it flat. So it's pressing underneath this white fabric. So unless you had a fabric that was very, very light and that this fabric would shadow through, that's going to be what you want to do. And that means on this one, we've pressed this one also underneath the white fabric so that these seams go in alternate directions. Because in this one, this seam goes this way, and this one, the seam is this way, and in this one, the seam is this way. And that way, when we're going to join the rows together, then we can see that they nest together nicely. They will bump up against each other, and then when we're sewing the rows together into the block, that will just help it go together more accurately. So now we're just going to stitch the rows together. So once our rows are all stitched together, we're going to have our little block. So the block at this point is 5.5 inches square. So it's going to finish at 5 inches square. You'll notice that these points don't go all the way to the edge. That is on purpose because that's going to be in the seam allowance. So when it's joined, then the points will go right up to the seam. So when you're making 5-inch finished blocks, then accuracy is more important. It's more important in cutting and with getting your seam allowance, just because you don't have as much leeway to work with as you do in a larger block. But with practice, it's not a problem. You're going to be able to do it. So have fun with 5-inch blocks. If you want to see more 5-inch quilt blocks, you can click the link below. And for more quilting tutorials, inspiration, and patterns, you can check out my website, ibidastudio.com.